Picture this. It is a scorching hot July afternoon. You walk into your living room and your beloved cat is stretched out on the tile floor, looking less like a majestic household panther and more like a spilled puddle of furry liquid. You laugh, snap a quick photo for Instagram and think, "Aw, poor Mr. Whiskers is just a little hot." But wait. What if I told you that your completely innocent summer habits might actually be putting Mr. Whiskers in mortal danger? Think your cat is just being dramatic? Or is their internal cooling system totally broken? Today, we are uncovering the deadly summer mistakes that kill your cat's health, and more importantly, how you can easily save them from disaster. Trust me, by the end of this video, you will realize that some of your helpful summer tricks are actually making your cat plot your demise. Before we dive into the fluffy drama, jump into the comments right now and tell me, what is the absolute weirdest place your cat hides when it gets too hot? Let's see who has the craziest furry weirdo. To truly understand why summer is such a battlefield for our cats, we need a quick history lesson. Our modern, lazy, couch potato cats are actually descendants of desert-dwelling hunters. Thousands of years ago, their ancestors roamed the hot sands of the Middle East. Because of this, cats are practically hardwired to conserve water and hide their weaknesses. They don't sweat like we humans do. You won't see a cat with pit stains. Instead, they cool down by panting, sweating through their tiny little paw pads and taking aggressive 16-hour naps. But here is the catch. Because their wild ancestors were so tough, today's domestic cats are masters of disguise. They will pretend everything is totally fine, even when they are dangerously close to a heat stroke. Your fluffy tyrant won't text you to say, "Hey Susan, turn up the AC, I'm dying here." They rely completely on you to read their secret feline signals. So, buckle up, cat parents. Let's expose the deadly mistakes you might be making right now and how to become the absolute best human servant your cat has ever known. Mistake number 1. The infamous summer buzz cut. Do you look at your fluffy Persian or Maine Coon panting in July and think, "Hey, a quick shave would make you feel so much better, buddy"? Stop right there, Edward Scissorhands. This is one of the most common and dangerous summer mistakes cat parents make. We humans think we are doing our feline overlords a massive favour by shaving off their thick, luxurious fur. But guess what? Your cat's coat isn't a winter jacket. It's a high-tech, built-in thermos. Cats have a complex double coat. The outer layer protects them from water and dirt, while the inner undercoat acts as magical insulation. In the winter, it keeps the cold out, but in the summer, it literally traps cool air against their skin and blocks the harsh UV rays from the sun. When you shave your cat, you are brutally stripping away their natural air conditioning system. Plus, a naked, shaved cat is incredibly vulnerable to severe sunburns, nasty bug bites, and even skin cancer. And let's be honest, they look absolutely ridiculous, and they know it. They will definitely plot their revenge while you sleep. Instead of reaching for the clippers, just brush them. Regular, daily grooming removes the dead undercoat, allowing air to circulate properly without ruining their natural thermal protection. So, put down the razor and pick up a brush, unless you want a very angry, sunburned gremlin living in your house. Mistake number 2. The deadly tilt and turn window trap. Ah, summer. You want a nice breeze, so you open your windows on that tilt setting. It seems totally safe, right? The gap is too small for a burglar, so it must be too small for your cat. Wrong. This is a fatal misconception. We all know cats operate under the scientific principle that cats are liquid. If they see a bird or a bug outside, their predatory instincts kick in and they will try to squeeze through that V-shaped gap. But here is the horrifying reality. They often get stuck. Because the gap gets narrower at the bottom, Gravity pulls them down. The more they struggle, the deeper they wedge themselves in, cutting off circulation to their back legs and causing massive internal organ damage, or even suffocation. Vets call this tilt window syndrome, and it is an absolute nightmare. Your cat isn't smart enough to avoid it. Their brain just says, "Must catch flying buzzy thing." To save your cat, you must never leave these windows open unattended. Or better yet, invest in special protective grills or window guards specifically designed for cats. Let the breeze in, but keep the fluffy idiots safe inside where they belong. Mistake number 3, the ice cube shocker. It's 100 degrees outside. You are sipping on an ice-cold lemonade, and you think, let me drop some ice cubes in Mr. Fluffle's water bowl to cool him down. It sounds like a refreshing treat, but this is a massive mistake. While a slightly cool drink is nice, ice-cold water can actually send your cat's delicate system into absolute shock. Imagine chugging a freezing slushie when you are overheated. You get a massive brain freeze and stomach cramps, right? Cats experience the exact same thing, but it's much worse for them. The sudden drop in temperature can cause severe gastrointestinal distress, leading to vomiting or diarrhea, which is exactly what you don't want when dehydration is a summer risk. Furthermore, cats are incredibly suspicious creatures. If their water suddenly has weird, floating, clinking icebergs in it, they might just refuse to drink it entirely. And a cat that refuses to drink in the summer is a cat heading straight for the emergency vet. Instead of ice, focus on providing fresh, slightly cool water in multiple locations around the house. If you want to spoil them, invest in a pet water fountain. The moving water stays naturally cooler and encourages their wild instincts to drink. Mistake number 4, the hot lava pavement dance. We often romanticize letting our indoor cats have a little supervised outdoor time on the patio or balcony during summer. But we usually walk out there wearing our trusty flip-flops, completely forgetting that our cats are walking barefoot. Cat paw pads are tough, but they are not invincible. Dark pavement, asphalt, and even wooden decking can heat up to blistering temperatures in direct sunlight. If the air temperature is 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius, the asphalt can easily reach 135 degrees, 57 Celsius. That is hot enough to literally fry an egg, and it is definitely hot enough to cause severe, agonizing third-degree burns on your cat's sensitive toe beans. The worst part, cats are stoic. By the time you notice them limping or excessively licking their burnt paws, the damage is already done. Here is the golden rule, the 5-second test. Place the back of your bare hand firmly on the pavement. If it is too hot for you to hold it there comfortably for 5 full seconds, it is absolutely too hot for your cat's paws. Keep the supervised outdoor adventures limited to early mornings or late evenings when the ground has safely cooled off. Mistake number 5. Assuming cats can't get sunburned. We look at our cats covered in a thick layer of fur and assume the sun cannot possibly harm them. But let me tell you about a little secret that can literally save your cat's life. Cats absolutely can get sunburned, and they are highly susceptible to skin cancer, specifically squamous cell carcinoma. Who is at the biggest risk? Cats with white fur, light-coloured coats, or hairless breeds like Sphynx cats. The tips of their ears, their cute little pink noses, and the sparse hair areas on their bellies are essentially unprotected zones. If your cat loves to bake in the windowsill during peak afternoon sunlight, they are basically tanning without SPF. Over time, those innocent sunbathing sessions can lead to red, crusty, painful lesions on their ears that often require surgical removal. Yes, vets frequently have to amputate the tips of cats' ears because of sun damage. To save your kitty, you need to manage their sun time. Close the blinds during the harshest midday rays, or, if you have a hairless breed or a very pale cat, ask your vet about pet-safe sunscreen. Do not use human sunscreen, as the ingredients like zinc oxide are highly toxic if they lick it off. Mistake number 6. The stinky, rotting, wet food trap. We all know the drill. You pop open a fresh can of premium salmon pâté, put it in the bowl, and your feline royalty takes 2 dainty bites before walking away, intending to finish it later. During winter, leaving wet food out for a few hours is usually fine, but in the sweltering summer heat, that bowl of meat turns into a toxic biological weapon at record speed. The heat causes the fats in the food to go rancid rapidly, and it becomes a massive breeding ground for dangerous bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli. Not only that, but it acts like a magnet for flies, which will happily lay eggs in your cat's dinner. Disgusting, right? If your cat comes back 3 hours later to eat that spoiled food, you are looking at a guaranteed case of severe food poisoning, vomiting, and sky-high vet bills. The solution is simple but crucial. During the summer months, wet food should never be left out for more than 20 to 30 minutes. If your cat is a grazer, you need to transition them to smaller, more frequent meals. Pick up whatever they don't finish immediately, cover it and put it in the fridge. Your cat might yell at you for taking their food away, but you are literally saving their stomach. Mistake number 7. Trusting your cat to hydrate themselves. Let's get one thing straight. Cats are notoriously terrible at drinking water. As we mentioned earlier, their desert ancestors got most of their moisture directly from the fresh prey they hunted. Modern cats haven't really evolved past this. Their thirst drive is dangerously low. In the summer heat, this biological quirk becomes a lethal threat. If you just leave a single bowl of stagnant tap water next to their food bowl, your cat is highly likely to become chronically dehydrated. Dehydration thickens their blood, damages their kidneys, and makes them incredibly vulnerable to heat stroke. Why don't they drink? Because in the wild, still water near a fresh kill is usually contaminated. It is an instinct. To trick your cat into staying hydrated and save their kidneys, you have to play mind games. First, move their water bowls away from their food bowls. Second, place multiple bowls in different rooms so they stumble upon them while patrolling their kingdom. And the ultimate lifesaver? Get a circulating water fountain. The sound of moving water triggers their primal brain to drink, keeping them flushed, hydrated, and ready to sprint around your house at 3 a.m. Mistake number 8. The toxic bug spray disaster. Summer means bugs, mosquitoes, flies, ants, you name it. Naturally, as a responsible homeowner, you want to wage war on these pests. You grab a can of heavy-duty bug spray, completely forgetting that your cat is chilling on the sofa nearby. This is a fatal error. Many common household bug sprays, mosquito repellents, and even some sunscreens contain a chemical called permethrin. While permethrin is generally safe for humans and even dogs, it is highly, rapidly toxic to cats. A cat's liver lacks a specific enzyme needed to break down this chemical. Even a tiny amount, whether inhaled from the air, brushed against a treated window screen, or transferred when you pet them after applying mosquito spray to your own skin, can cause severe neurological damage. We are talking uncontrollable muscle tremors, seizures, and frequently, death. Never, ever use regular bug sprays around your cat. If you need to treat your yard or home, strictly use pet-safe, vet-approved alternatives. And if you have dogs, never use dog flea medication on your cat, as they almost always contain lethal doses of permethrin for felines. Read the labels, humans, or you might accidentally poison your best friend. Mistake number 9. Blasting them with the air conditioner or fan. It sounds counterintuitive, right? It's hot, so obviously the cat wants to sit directly in front of the AC vent or the high-speed fan. While cooling down the ambient temperature of your house is fantastic and necessary, allowing a constant, harsh stream of cold air to blow directly onto your cat is a massive mistake. cats are very susceptible to respiratory issues. Being blasted by frigid, dry air from an AC unit can quickly dry out their nasal passages and the mucous membranes in their respiratory tract. This drastically lowers their natural immune defenses, making them a prime target for feline upper respiratory infections. Basically, a really nasty summer cold for cats. Plus, older cats with arthritis will find their joints stiffening up painfully under a cold draft. And fans? Fans don't actually cool the air, they just move it around. Since cats don't sweat through their skin, a fan blowing on them does practically nothing to lower their core body temperature. But it will definitely annoy them and dry out their eyes. The fix? Keep the house comfortably cool, but make sure your cat has a draft-free sanctuary to retreat to when they get too chilly. Mistake number 10. The just 5 minutes hot car tragedy. You are driving back from the vet or taking your cat to the groomer. You suddenly remember you need to grab one tiny thing from the grocery store. It will only take 5 minutes, you tell yourself. I'll leave the windows cracked. Stop right there. This is arguably the most lethal mistake on this list. A car is essentially a greenhouse on wheels. Even on a mildly warm day of 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius, the temperature inside a parked car can rocket to over 100 degrees, 38 Celsius, in less than 10 minutes. Leaving the windows cracked does absolutely nothing to stop this oven-like effect. Because cats cannot sweat, they have absolutely zero defense against this kind of rapid environmental heating. Within minutes, they will begin to pant frantically, their internal organs will begin to shut down, and brain damage sets in. It is a horrific, agonizing way to die, and it happens faster than you can stand in line to buy your milk. There is absolutely no excuse, no errand important enough, and no time frame short enough to justify leaving your cat in a parked car during the summer. If you have to stop, take them home first, period. Mistake number 11. Ignoring the subtle signs of heat stroke. As we discussed, cats are proud, majestic creatures who refuse to show weakness. A dog will pant loudly and slump over if they are hot, but a cat? A cat will try to hide their distress until the absolute last possible second. By the time you realise something is wrong, it might be a medical emergency. The biggest mistake is expecting obvious signs and ignoring the subtle ones. If your cat is panting with an open mouth, like a dog, this is an emergency. Cats only pant when they are under extreme stress or dangerously overheated. Other silent killers include lethargy, more than their usual 16-hour naps, drooling, staggering like they are drunk, bright red gums, or vomiting. If you see any of these signs, you must act fast to save them. But do not plunge them into ice water. That causes shock. Instead, move them to the coolest room in the house, dampen a towel with lukewarm water, not cold, and gently wipe down their paws, armpits, and groin area. Offer them cool water to drink and call your emergency vet immediately. Knowing these secret signs is the difference between life and death for your furry overlord. Mistake number 12, the toxic summer bouquet trap. Summer is the season of beautiful, vibrant flowers. Maybe you grew them in your garden, or maybe someone brought you a stunning summer bouquet. But before you put that vase on the dining table where your cat loves to patrol, you need to check every single petal. The biggest, deadliest offender? Lilies. We are talking about true lilies and daylilies. These gorgeous flowers are an absolute death sentence for cats. And I am not just talking about eating the leaves. Every single part of the lily is highly toxic. The petals, the stem, the leaves, the pollen, and even the water sitting in the vase. If your cat simply brushes against a lily flower, gets a tiny speck of yellow pollen on their fur, and then grooms themselves later, That microscopic amount is enough to cause acute, irreversible kidney failure within 24 to 72 hours. It is an incredibly fast and brutal toxin. Other toxic summer plants include azaleas, oleander, and sago palms. If you are a cat parent, you must be ruthless about the plants you bring into your home. A pretty centerpiece is never worth the life of your cat. Stick to cat-safe plants like spider plants or Boston ferns. Mistake number 13. Sticking strictly to a dry kibble diet. Listen, I get it. Dry food is incredibly convenient. It doesn't spoil quickly, it is cheaper, and it is easy to measure. But in the blazing heat of summer, relying 100% on a dry kibble diet is a massive mistake that slowly destroys your cat's health. Why? Because dry kibble contains almost zero moisture, usually around 10% or less. Since cats have a naturally low thirst drive and don't drink enough water on their own, a purely dry diet leaves them walking around in a constant state of mild dehydration. When the summer heat hits, that mild dehydration escalates quickly. This severe lack of moisture makes their urine highly concentrated, which is a one-way ticket to developing painful urinary tract infections or deadly kidney crystals. Male cats are especially at risk for life-threatening urinary blockages. To save your cat's kidneys and keep them hydrated, you absolutely must introduce wet food into their daily summer routine. Wet food is roughly 70 to 80% water, which mimics the hydration they would get from hunting wild prey. If your cat is a kibble addict and refuses wet food, try adding unsalted chicken broth or warm water to their dry food to sneak in that extra life-saving moisture. Mistake number 14. The midday laser pointer marathon. You are working from home, it's 2 p.m, the sun is beating down, and your cat looks bored. So, you grab the trusty laser pointer or the feather wand and decide to tire them out with an intense play session. Huge mistake. While playing with your cat is crucial for their mental health, forcing them into a high cardio workout during the absolute hottest part of the day is a recipe for disaster. Cats are ambush predators. They are designed for short, explosive bursts of energy, not prolonged endurance running. When they get excited by the laser, their prey drive completely overrides their common sense. They will chase that red dot until they literally collapse from heat exhaustion. Their internal temperature skyrockets, and because they can't sweat, they can't cool down fast enough. You might think it is cute that they are panting, but as we know, a panting cat is a cat in danger. To save your furry athlete, you must reschedule playtimes. Keep the intense zoomies reserved for the early morning dawn or the late evening dusk, which, coincidentally, perfectly matches their natural hunting rhythms. During the midday heat, let sleeping cats lie. Mistake number 15. Shutting the doors to their cool sanctuaries. We humans love our privacy, and we love keeping our homes looking neat. So, when we leave for work, we often close the doors to the bathrooms, the laundry room, or the basement to keep the cat out of trouble. But in the summer, closing these specific doors is a terrible mistake. Think about the layout of your house. Where are the coolest surfaces located? Usually, it is the porcelain bathtub, the ceramic tiles on the bathroom floor, or the cool concrete in the basement. When a cat feels their body temperature rising, their instinct is to seek out a dark, cool, and quiet place to literally press their belly against the cold surface and transfer their body heat away. By shutting these doors, you are trapping them in the carpeted, sun-drenched areas of your home, effectively denying them access to their natural cooling stations. If you don't have a sea, or if the power goes out while you're at work, the bathroom tile could literally save your cat's life. Prop those doors open. If you are worried about them unrolling the toilet paper or drinking out of the toilet, just put the lid down and hide the paper. Give them access to the chill zones. Mistake number 16. The summer barbecue trash can hazard. Summer is the season for backyard parties, grilling out, and delicious barbecues. It is all fun and games until the party ends and you leave the kitchen trash can uncovered. Summer heat makes garbage decompose and smell much faster, which is absolutely irresistible to a curious cat with a sharp nose. What is hiding in that trash? Cooked chicken bones, corn cobs, rib bones, and skewers. If your cat dives into the trash and eats a cooked bone, it is a deadly emergency. Cooked bones become incredibly brittle. When your cat bites them, they splinter into razor-sharp shards that can easily puncture their throat, stomach, or intestines, causing fatal internal bleeding. Furthermore, BBQ foods are usually slathered in onions and garlic, both of which are highly toxic to felines and destroy their red blood cells. And let's not forget the choking hazard of a greasy wooden skewer. Your cat does not understand the danger. They just smell delicious meat. To save them, you must invest in a heavy-duty trash can with a locking lid, or immediately take all food-related garbage outside to the main bins. Don't let your summer feast become their final meal. Mistake number 17. Ignoring mats and tangled fur. We talked about why you shouldn't shave your cat, but completely ignoring their coat is just as dangerous. Long-haired cats like ragdolls, Persians, and Maine Coons shed heavily as they transition into summer. If you aren't brushing them regularly, that loose undercoat doesn't just magically disappear. It gets stuck, tangles with the topcoat, and forms dense, hard mats close to the skin. These mats are not just an aesthetic problem, they are a massive health hazard in the summer heat. A solid mat of fur acts like a thick woolen blanket glued to your cat's skin, trapping intense body heat and preventing any cooling air circulation. Worse yet, as your cat tries to groom themselves, moisture from their saliva gets trapped underneath the mats. In the sweltering heat, this warm, moist environment becomes a perfect breeding ground for severe bacterial skin infections known as hotspots. These infections are agonizingly painful, ooze pus, and require expensive vet treatments and antibiotics. Plus, mats pull tightly on the skin with every step the cat takes. Be a responsible servant. Buy a good quality metal comb and a slicker brush, and spend 10 minutes a day grooming your majestic beast. Mistake number 18. The deadly greenhouse effect in outbuildings. If you have an indoor/outdoor cat, or a cat that loves to follow you around the yard while you garden, you need to be hyper-aware of this specific danger. You are out back, grabbing some tools from the shed, the detached garage, or a glass greenhouse. Your sneaky little shadow quietly slips inside to investigate a fascinating spiderweb. You grab your tools, walk out, and lock the door tight behind you, completely unaware that you just trapped your cat inside. In the summer, these unventilated, unair-conditioned outbuildings turn into literal death traps within minutes. The sun beats down on the roof, and the internal temperature skyrockets far beyond the outside heat. It is exactly like the hot car scenario, but often worse because people might not go back to their shed for days. The cat has no water, no air circulation, and no way to escape the baking heat. It is a terrifying way to die. Always, always, always do a visual head count of your pets before you lock up any garage, shed, attic, or greenhouse. Call their name, shake the treat back, and make absolute sure you see them standing safely outside before you turn that key. Mistake number 19. Backyard pool and water hazards. We all have this ingrained stereotype that cats absolutely hate water. Because of this, when cat owners have backyard swimming pools, they rarely think about pool safety for their feline friends. Oh, Mr. Whiskers would never go near the pool. He hates getting wet. Here is the terrifying truth. Cats are naturally curious, and they have terrible depth perception when it comes to clear water. A cat might walk along the slippery edge of the pool to bat at a floating bug, lose their footing, and fall in. While most cats instinctively know how to doggy paddle, the sheer panic of falling into water, combined with the slick, vertical sides of a typical swimming pool, makes it almost impossible for them to climb back out. They will swim until they are completely exhausted, and then they will drown. Even worse are the solar pool covers. If a cat steps on a floating solar cover, it will immediately buckle under their weight, wrapping around them and trapping them underwater instantly. To save your cat, never leave them unsupervised around an open pool. If your cat has yard access, ensure you have an easy exit ramp installed in the pool, and never let them walk on solar covers. Mistake number 20. The stuffy summer travel carrier. Summer is the prime time for vacations, moving, or catching up on annual vet visits. But the way you transport your cat can easily turn into a fatal mistake. Most people just grab that cheap, hard plastic carrier from the back of the closet, shove the protesting cat inside, and head out the door. But look closely at that carrier. Are the ventilation slits tiny? Is the plastic thick and dark? In the summer heat, sticking your cat in a poorly ventilated plastic box is like putting them in a portable sauna. The dark plastic absorbs the sun's rays through the car window, and your cat's own anxious panting rapidly increases the humidity and heat inside that tiny space. Even if the car AC is on, that cool air rarely penetrates the small holes of the carrier. The cat is essentially baking in their own panic. To save them, you must upgrade your travel gear. Invest in a carrier with mesh panels on at least 3 sides for maximum cross-ventilation. When in the car, place the carrier away from direct sunlight and angle an AC vent directly toward the mesh. Never cover the carrier with a thick blanket in the summer, or you will accidentally suffocate your precious cargo. And there you have it, humans, the 20 deadly summer mistakes that could be secretly harming your fluffy best friend. Now you know exactly what is going on inside that mysterious, furry head when the temperature rises. From understanding that their thick coat is actually a magic cooling shield, to realizing that a single dropped ice cube is an absolute betrayal, you are now officially a master of summer cat survival. Yes, they might wake us up at 4 a.m. for no reason, knock our favourite glasses off the counter, and treat us like the hired help. But let's be real. We absolutely adore these tiny tigers, and we want them to live long, happy, and perfectly chilled lives. So, go check their water bowls right now, make sure that bathroom door is propped open, and please, hide those summer lilies. If this video helped you understand your feline overlord a little better, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more life-saving cat tips, and share this video with every single cat parent you know. We have to spread the word to keep all the kitties safe. Before you go, answer me this. Which of these 20 mistakes completely shocked you the most? Drop your answers in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.